Artificial intelligence, folks, it's officially here. And right now is the inflection point. According to a study by Gartner, by 2023, artificial intelligence will have replaced about 5 million jobs worldwide. Just as the internet and the personal computer came in prior generations, AI is going to change just about everything, including the way that we work. And more importantly, the jobs that are available and left for us to do. In this video, we're going to explore 5 jobs that are at most risk of being replaced, or at least partially replaced by AI. Whether you're a working professional or a student about to finish school, you're gonna wanna know this information so that you can stay ahead of the curve when you get into the job market or as you navigate the job market into the future. So before I even get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Richard Walls and I'm here to help you with career development and personal finance. So if either of those 2 topics are of interest to you, do make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. So with that said, let's get started. Job number 1 is customer service reps. Customer service is the first line of defense when it comes to customers calling in with a complaint. They're there to address it. And one example of this is chatbots. Chatbots are basically AI-powered tools that serve the customer automated response based on the customer's inquiries, what they're saying, and it helps them diagnose and root cause issues. And this is all done via text. And I'm sure you yourself have used some of the chat features with certain companies and you got to an automated system. Now they can be programmed to answer pretty basic common questions, provide product information, and even handle simple transactions like issuing refunds or cancellations. Best part is chatbots can work 24/7 around the clock to be there for customer support. But crazier yet, it's getting way more sophisticated than even what it has been in the last few years. AI is now incorporated into voice assistants for companies. So you might imagine for us, there's like Amazon Alexa and Apple Siri. There's other platforms out there for companies to use. And instead of chatting, you can actually call someone. You'll get basically a bot that's going to answer a lot of the same questions you would through text, but it's going to sound very human-like. So all the questions that you might have asked via chat, you can now ask over the phone. And even better, that voice assistants can be integrated with chatbots to provide a seamless experience. So if you chat with a bot at first, you decide to call in, they'll have all that interaction documented and they'll be able to continue supporting. So this technology has already replaced a number of jobs in this field and it's simply going to continue to trend in that direction. So it will replace, and it already has replaced a number of jobs. That being said, it's not replacing 100% of those jobs. There still will need to be a human element because inevitably there's going to be circumstances, certain situations that are very unique, very nuanced that a chat bot or voice assistant is not going to have the creativity to help answer that, or they're not going to have maybe some of the background or contextual knowledge that a human might. Job number 2 is copywriters. Now these are professionals who create copy or written word for marketing or advertising purposes. This can include website copy, blogs, social media content, email marketing campaign, product descriptions, and quite a bit more. And ultimately the goal of a copywriter is to produce content or produce written word in such a way that it persuades the reader or the audience to take some kind of action. That's to sign up for a mailing list, that's to purchase a product or service. And this happens to be another place that AI will be replacing a good number of these jobs. Simply put, AI can be quite a bit more efficient. They can of course write faster, they can pull from sources online and pull it all together into this copy. And they can do so with consistency in tone. Now, a copywriter may take several hours to produce a written piece of content, whereas AI can spit out 1,000 plus words in less than a minute. So the amount of well-written content is going to just multiply. Now, AI is still a little bit limited. It is going to replace what would have been teams of copywriters, but it won't replace all of them. There still will need to be some copywriters, but effectively their roles are going to be more like editors. They're going to take whatever the AI spits out, they're going to look at it, proofread it, and make edits. They're going to add or remove bits of content. They're gonna inject a little bit more of their own personality into it. And I'm gonna let you in on a little bit of a secret. I actually used AI to write the script for this video that you're watching right now. So, shh. Don't tell anybody. But see what I did there? AI didn't do that. AI didn't write that little bit that I just was explaining to you, but it did do a good job of giving me an outline, giving me a way to structure my thoughts. And it did provide me a good bit of content that I could either look at and say, okay, I'll use this paragraph or I'll use this sentence, but I'm gonna change the language here because that's not how I sound. So I'm still having to spend a good amount of effort. AI is not gonna replace the words that I would use, my selection. Maybe it will in the future. I'm sure it'll get to that point. AI does have the ability, of course, to learn and adapt to someone's tone and the word usage. But really the future of the copywriter and the job itself is going to be dependent upon how well they use AI to speed up their content creation process. Job number 3 is legal assistance. Now this type of job requires a lot of manual work, reading through and sifting through a bunch of contracts with a lot of legal language, which is something that AI can do extraordinarily well. One of the most time-consuming tasks for a legal assistant is simply reviewing and analyzing documents. AI-powered tools can review, automatically scan all these documents en masse, making it easier for attorneys to identify key pieces of information and make decisions. These tools use natural language processing and machine learning to identify patterns and extract data. And what's also cool is that these tools can look into this documentation, review some of the terms, and identify any possible red flag where the attorney can look at it and perhaps negotiate better terms. Job number 4 is telemarketers. Think of the robocalls we get today, except the robocalls of the future are going to be 1,000 times more sophisticated. AI is going to be used to identify customers' needs and preferences even before making a call, which can help telemarketers personalize their approach and their message to the customer when they call. AI can also automate appointment scheduling, as well as follow-up calls and maybe some other repetitive tasks, meaning there is far less need for telemarketers. And if you recall what I mentioned earlier about voice assistants, well, again, you're going to have these digitally produced human voices that are going to sound virtually indistinguishable from an actual human. So whenever someone calls in, it may not be an actual human, but it's certainly going to sound like one. And based on all the data that may exist about you out on the internet, they're able to understand in advance what you might need or what you might want and tailor a message specifically for you. Pretty crazy. Job number 5 is video content creators. Now this is any role where a video needs to be created for a company. It can be promotional videos, explainer videos, training for employees, but there's software out there that exists today that's able to take a written script written by AI that replaced the copywriter, and it can create a video with text, with relevant imagery and video, and it can create a full video with text included, relevant imagery, and it can also include B-roll footage, and it all matches what the text is saying. And it usually does this with a library of stock footage that the company has licensed, and it can combine it with some theme music that's going on in the background that fits the mood. And it does all of this in just minutes. Now beyond that is that there's a company out there called Synthesia or Synthesia, I forget the actual pronunciation, but what it can do is similar to what I mentioned. You provided a script, but as a company, you can actually select a number of different human avatars. And when you feed it the script, you're gonna get that avatar and it's going to speak that script into existence. And it can do so in many languages, tones, accents. There's no need to record anyone, no need to record their voice. If you need to correct what the avatar says, there's no need to re-record anything as you would with a human. All you do is you change that little bit of script and have it play again and have it read it, and it's done. It captures that. So you can imagine the expense associated with getting someone's time and energy and having to go through a recording session. All that is virtually eliminated. And companies use software like this to produce training videos or even promotional videos. So while AI is replacing a lot of the folks that are in these roles today, humans are still needed to supervise maximize the output of artificial intelligence. And the key for you is that you become proficient in using AI to your advantage. The more efficient you can make your workflows and the better product you can produce with the help of AI, the further along you're going to be in the market and the more competitive you're going to be. So you really need to think not in terms of AI replacing skills. I'd encourage you to think about how AI can augment or how it can add to your skill. Now, I'll be covering more videos on this subject, so do make sure to subscribe. And in the meantime, check out some other videos that I have on career development and skilling up. I'm sure you're gonna find those useful in addition to all the AI that you're likely going to be experimenting with. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.